All right, so let's talk about some tips, tricks, and strategies that we as Techter and technically other classes who have certain capabilities in some respects can implement as we climb in our geometric labyrinths. Now, a lot of these things are going to be more impactful in solo, but I'm sure you can take these things and apply them in party play and be just as effective, if not more to some degree. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right, so first up is the Crag Bear. Now you saw this in a previous video that I released. The way I did it in that one wasn't as, let's say, repeatable. It's kind of luck of the draw. So as you're seeing here, what you want to do is run to the platform that vanishes over time, wait for the Rock Bear to essentially get aggro, run back to the starting position. That should force the Rock Bear to do his flip to try and travel towards you, resulting in him dropping through the floor. And now, of course, this isn't just for the Crag Bear. This is for any boss where you're fighting the floor that has no walls. Varus, as you saw in my previous videos, is another situation. That one probably requires a little bit more positioning and luck of the draw to force Varus to fly backwards. But once again, the same concept holds still. If there's no walls, easy way to clear a boss in a certain floor is to have them essentially kill themselves jumping off the ledge. Now this one is Techter Bouncer specific because we're talking about Spinning Gust, which is a bouncer jet boot photon art. Nothing really fancy here, but what I do want to call out is Spinning Gust, when it hits a small or medium-sized mob, it launches. What's great about this is that this allows great crowd control for when you just need a lot of different things to stop doing what they're doing so you can focus on a target. So if you've got jet boots, I highly recommend in certain situations, especially those garongos, the spinning alligators, use Spinning Gust either to knock them over to expose their weak spot or to give you more time and control when you're, say, taking on a large boss where you just need things to slow down a bit. Now this one is stage specific, specifically the platforming stage, which I know many of you like and many of you hate. Hopefully looking through this video, you'll see a simple strategy. This isn't going to be the fastest way of clearing it, but you will get all of the boxes and pretty much get through this without much issue. What I want to call out in this stage is that every time you beat one of the paths, so either you take the red path or you take the blue path or it's the green, whatever color that is, you unlock the gate and enemies drop. One of the things you can do here to save yourself some time, especially if you have strong AoE abilities, is not fight each mob when they drop. Clear one of the platforming stages, jump into the next portal, clear the next section, and then fight everything all at once. I will call out that you have to be careful, because as you'll see in this clip, I actually shouldn't have pulled off that strategy, but I just wanted to show A, what you can do, and B, the things you want to be wary of. And that is enhancement enemies. So when you clear that first path, whether it's going to be the red or the green, make sure you pay attention to the enemies that drop. Because if an enhancer drops, you can rest assured that if you go through the path again, or the second path, that another enhancer will drop, which will make things more difficult. But if you get the luck of the draw where you don't get an enhancement drop, it might be more beneficial just to get both mobs together and then take them down all at once. Speaking of enhancers, they are annoying, but they do provide a benefit when you need to manage or build up resources. And for Techter, we're specifically focusing on compound. The great thing about enhancers is that they provide high defense for the other mobs in the vicinity. What that means is you can still hit them, you can still do damage, they just won't die. Use this as an opportunity as you're focusing down the enhancer enemy to build things up. Jizande is a great skill that you should be using in high density mob areas because it is going to build your compound that much faster, especially when you take Jizande and you couple it with Zande and its ricochet effect. So what you're going to see here in this clip, if you looked at the beginning, I started with one stock of compound. I'm trying to take down this enhancer boss, and I'm just casting Jizande and Zande and attacking the boss, and see how quickly within the first part of this stage my compound technique builds up. This is great just in case you need to burn down an enhancement enemy, or if you're on floor 5 and you know Bujin's coming up and you want to have all of your resources ready to go. This next strategy might be one of the rares because getting this room might not happen all the time, but it is very important that you understand how to utilize this room to its fullest. And this is what I call the drone room. It can take many different forms. You get different enemies, but essentially you're going to get either 1 or 2 drones. The strategy here is that you want to make sure at least 1 drone is the last enemy you kill. The reason for this is because just like the Vanford Ruins or the Vanford Laboratory, drones are run on energy and they do additional damage and they help you out. And just like Vanford, these drones will follow you throughout the rest of your quest as long as they have energy. And so the reason why you don't want to kill all of them early, even though I know they're annoying and you're gonna have to change your attack pattern so they don't shoot you down all the time, is that you want to conserve as much energy as possible if you can. So as you see here in this clip, I kill the first drone and I use it as support fire as I take down the other enemies. Once all the other enemies are dead, I then focus my efforts on taking down the last drone. This is floor 4 that I just cleared. What you're going to see in this next clip is that I was able to take that drone and its energy all the way to Bujin. So floor 4 to floor 6, essentially giving me additional damage. Now, of course, this is going to be rare and this is going to be tricky because maybe you'll get the drones on floor 5, maybe you'll get them on floor 2. You might not be able to make it all the way to the end, but once again, using those drones as additional damage throughout your quest. Managing that resource, making sure you're not using it in areas that, is just wasted. And that's pretty much it for this video. There are other couple of things that you can do. I'm still exploring them. Specifically, there's this one thing that Force can get away with that technically we can mimic. If anyone's seen the Force videos, essentially you're cheesing Bujin by jumping high in the air and staying right under him and essentially fighting with a target you can't see, but he can't hit you, so you win. Is that going to be something that Techter can take advantage of? Possibly, especially if we start thinking about Talus. I just don't know if we have the damage or the time to pull that strategy off because it is time inefficient, even though essentially you increase your chances of success tenfold. Other than that, let me know what you guys think, and I'll catch you next time.